Greetings and welcome to the 16L Man Proudly presents. You know what time it is. Comic book talk with friends every Monday. We're so glad to have you guys here with us, as it's going to be a very entertaining one, very educational one. Just decided to attack pretty much. It's not really a heavy topic, but just try to be more informative, give you an origin, a history of you, and you already know what the title is: the Illuminati. We're going to talk about that, the original founding members of the Illuminati, why it took shape, and some of the bad choices that they've actually made. We'll kind of dive into that a little bit, each individual character, and why it is important that we do see them in the MCU going forward, because there's a lot of upcoming events. So we're going to dive into as many as we possibly can. But again, thank you guys for basically being here with us. Again, we love this show. I love this show. I know you guys love it. So let's kind of dive in. But before we do, I want to actually bring in the amazing panel that we actually have. My brothers, head off by Mr. Butt Naked himself, Brandon Riley, real Riley, man. What's going on, man? What's going on with you, bro?
Not much, man. It's been a pretty good week. Just continuing to catch up on some comics.
Yeah.
We got Moff Gideon and Jango Fett dropping last night, so that was cool. And I actually ordered today, and hopefully it'll be here by the end of the week or beginning of next week. The PCS 1/3 scale Miles Morales. So I got it through Marcos at Collector's Zone, and it is #1 in the edition.
That thing is beautiful, bro.
In the edition size.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know what the actual edition size is, but whatever it is, I got #1. So
it's not like it's 1/4 scale or something.
It's a third. It's 1/3 scale. It's just shy. It's just shy of 30 inches tall.
That thing is big. Oh yeah, that's dope, man.
I decided, I was like, I really wanted that piece, and I was like, it was the motivation I needed to unload a couple pieces of my collection that I've been looking to let go of and just haven't pulled the trigger on. So I'm probably going to sell my my Sideshow premium formats, the original Michael Keaton Batman and Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. So I'm probably, I think, going to sell those and maybe the quarter scale Hot Toy Joker too, because I like it, but I don't really.
Oh, you had quarter scale Keaton?
The premium format is quarter scale, yeah. So I've got Michael Keaton, that's the premium format statue from Sideshow from back in the day. I've got that and the Michelle Pfeiffer from Batman Returns. And I really like them, but I'm just, I'm ready to let them go. So.
And you know what? This would look great behind it. This piece right
dope.
Here.
Yeah.
Vincent Dunn Art that you can actually find on Vincent Dunn Art on Instagram. If you go to his Instagram page, you can go to his store and you can get this piece.
Vinny, you killed that.
Right here.
You killed that.
This is a very amazing piece. Actually, the one I'm holding in my hand right now is Brendan's. I just forgot to send it to the motherfucker, but I'm going to send it to him.
That's dope.
This is his. So I'm gonna send this to him, but this is actually his. There's a couple of them I gotta actually send out, but this is his, so I'll send it out to him. But you can get yours. I got mine, but you can get yours on Vincent Dunn Art. You just go to his page, and you got this. As a matter of fact, Jedi Pimp, I got you one too, brother. So I
my man. That's what's up. Appreciate it.
I got a couple of them right there, bro. It's been sitting over there. I bought a couple of them out to Vinny to send them out to my folks. So I would definitely get this out there for you, bro. Definitely.
You got a few from me. I much appreciate it. If anybody else needs a print, I got y'all. Just hit me up and I'll take care of you.
Definitely, Vincent Dunn Art. That's where you want to get that piece. You can get this piece. Yeah. And I should have actually had him sign to from Vinny.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, you ain't sign them things, though.
They're signed. It's just not
signed. It's not personalized. I might get him to just put butt naked on the back of this one. So we can just get it out to him.
There you go.
Butt naked.
Draw a little butt at the end.
But no, so I'll actually send these out. Just cheeks. Just cheeks. But Vinny, what's going on with you, brother? What's going on, man? How's your day?
Man, it is that time of the year. I've just been swamped and busy. Weather's, a hurdle, but I'm dodging raindrops like a motherfucker and just keeping it moving and drawing and working and drawing and just trying to take I've been like working 7 days a week and just grinding. Just I was working this weekend landscaping on Saturday, and Sunday I was drawing and running errands, delivering prints to people like Santa Claus. So I was over on West Shore, on the East Shore. I was dropping off canvas prints over here on the East Shore, canvas prints over on the West Shore. Gotcha. So and then coming home and drawing some more stuff. I was working on a friend's album cover and just juggling, just keeping it moving, man. Just very, very blessed to be busy. I'd be better busy than bored. So whatever complaining I do, it could always be the opposite end of the spectrum. So I'm lucky that I have. That's the best problem to have, is too much going on. So I'm just trying to tread water, stay on top of everything, keep everybody happy, and keep my customers and clients happy, and just keep creating. So,
you got it, bro. You got it.
Yes, sir. But other than that, man, I'm just a nice little respite. Like, there was no Moon Knight, there was no movie. I was just able to.
This sucks.
I didn't have to. It was a nice week off from having to, rush to be, home by a certain time for a movie or a show. So it was cool to be able to just focus on, just hustling this week. So
it was just he's just been able to rest and not have to dodge trailers and shit like that.
My spidey senses have a break. No more opening up my Facebook. Like, okay, we good. So that's definitely like stressful when you're coming up on a flick, and then lack of spoilers and chillers for the past week have been nice, and so I'm enjoying that. I'm sure there'll be some new spoilers for Obi-Wan and within the next week or so that I'll have to go back to Dr.
next week. Next week I'll be heading out to sunny California.
Yes,
next
indeed.
Tuesday, man. I
I'm
cannot
stowing
wait.
away in your luggage, motherfucker.
Sunny California next. I cannot wait, bro. I need to get the F away from here, man. So I'm so happy about that celebration.
$7.50 gas.
Yep. Be lucky y'all don't have diesel. My diesel truck for landscaping, because it's her piece, man. Her piece.
Dude,
but
diesel right now.
What are you gonna do? Not drive?
True.
Cali regular gas is $7.50, bro. In Cali,
regular gas is $7.50 there.
In Cali,
we'll be there soon enough, I'm sure.
I don't even want to talk about it. My man Jedi Pimp Smack, how you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. I'm good, man. It's been pretty busy, man. Work, and then I took some time out to help my boy out at his at the comic shop last weekend. He had
that comic shop is dope.
Dude, bro, I love that place, bro. I helped him out there Saturday, and then Sunday he had the Green Ranger there in the building, Tommy.
Okay.
So I got I got a Pog sign and stuff, and I sold some figures. I sold the was it First Class Magneto? I sold X-Men 2 Quicksilver. I sold a Constantine.
Word.
What else did I get rid of?
So you just unloaded some stuff.
Yeah, because I got the one for Scale Mando. It'll be here Friday. He got it for me.
Got you.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get that thing home, boy. Oh my god! And then Wonder Woman will be here tomorrow. The Golden Armor finally will be here tomorrow. So I can't wait for that, bro. And then I just started reading the Obi-Wan books, the new ones. I guess it's gonna run into the show or whatever. I grabbed like 2 of those from the shop.
Yeah,
so I mean that's
it,
bro.
Luminar got hers in, her Golden Armor Wonder Woman. So
I saw hers on the show Friday. I know she was cheesing.
Yeah,
and she had the big wings out on that. I can't wait to get that deluxe, boy. I think it's so serious.
It's incredible, bro. It's an incredible piece, man. Shout out to everybody.
Now, how you got yours set up? Is yours open wings in the shelf?
I got 2. So I got one open wing on the top, and I got one in the actual cabinet. So,
but you got the close and opens on her, or just the
just close and open.
The only thing redeeming from that film.
Yep,
that's
the only thing, but it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
That's
but let me jump in the chat real quick just to address everybody out there. We got Charlie the Unicorn, man. Thank you for being there. Luminar, as always, thank you for being here. Malika Mabane. Actually, we got Malika Mabane with a $5. Malachi Mabane or Malika Mabane. I always call him Malachi because it sounds like dope. But I'm Malika Mabane with the $5 super chat. Solutions to the fam. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. Salutations. Man. Salutations to the fam. Sorry about
that. No doubt, bro.
So thank you very much for that. I'm half tired, so sorry about that.
Bam, brother.
Peace of my band. We got Vince Talentino, two ferns in the building. So check it out. Real quick. We want to address something real quick. Two Ferns, so glad to have you here on the show tonight. Check it out. Two Ferns' birthday was last week. So happy belated birthday to Two Ferns, my guy. But also want to put it out there that Two Ferns is recovering from COVID. So Two Ferns, man, salute to you. And basically while you're recovering, for being here while you're recovering. So we love you, man. Thank you for being an important part of the show. As always, promised you I was going to give you a shout out because you are my man. And I wanted to make sure you got the love and support that you need. So shout out to you and thank you for being here and holding us down always and always being in a collecting community, man. We love you. Get better. Happy birthday. Drinks on us. Kool-Aid, that is, because I don't drink. But yeah,
and always look at the silver linings. At least you're not recovering from the clap. You know, that'd be worse. Just saying.
What the?
I'm just saying there are worse things that he could be in recovery from.
Not COVID.
I'd rather have that than the clap.
The clap stays with you forever, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Kobe, you get rid of twice. The clap. Between the clap is on you for a long until you die, brother.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
ask Two Ferns right now if he would rather be recovering from COVID right now or the clap. I guarantee you he's going to say COVID.
Yeah. Two Ferns, happy birthday, man, and belated birthday. And
like this, if he had the clap, he wouldn't have told you.
Yeah, no.
Nah, hell no.
Some people are really open. You know, some people are just an open book, so you never know.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, let's dive in. Ashley Chase, thank you for basically being here. Luminar Dockinator, one OG fan with Star Wars was just Star Wars. Wingman 42. Let's see here. We got Latoya T, baby. Thank you for being here all day. Philip the Fool. Let's see here. Who else we got? We got, AJ Agrusa. Thank you for being here, man. Amir Nazmanzadi, thank you for being here. Your name is so hard to pronounce. I'm just gonna call you Amir, man. We got Amber May is out there. Thank you for being here, Amber. The Collector is always with the popcorn ready to go. We got Prime Time Reviews is out there. We got Board Cube 1 of 2 is actually out there. Thank you for being here. SpongeBob Square Balls is out there. Thank you for being here.
Balls.
Let's see here. Hugo Boss 5150. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. Who else we got? We got Ninja Squirrel 30 is in the building. Thank you for being here. And we got more piling in as we go. This is how it is. So, and my man Riley Reviews is actually there. Thank you for being here, Riley. But yeah, shout out to you guys, man, and everybody out there in the chat, just, for the continued support. And Two Ferns, yes, again, get better, man. Hopefully everything works out for you, my brother. But yeah. Interesting things going on in the universe right now. We seen some interesting spoiler photos. We're not going to get into those when it comes to like the new Thor film, but we'll talk about that some other time, probably behind scenes when Benny's not around. We got Lizzie Venus here. Thank you for being here. But we're here to talk about the Illuminati. That's what we're here to talk about. The thing is, like, listen, we're going to divert away from Ace Green 1313. Thank you for being here as well. We're going to divert away from the film, okay? Because the thing is, with the iteration that you got from the film, I don't want you to sit with a bad taste in your mouth thinking that that's going to be the version going forward. No, this is going to be something totally new. But what we want to do is just kind of go over the history of the Illuminati, when they were basically first presented, when we actually saw them. So anybody who basically had the New Avengers 2013, 2015 run, of course, that was the introduction somewhat of the Illuminati. And then Illuminati actually had their run in 2015. And this stems from basically, I want to say, somewhat of a dream, but arrogance as well. Now, we know, we're dealing with the greats, that actually came in and, kind of gave us this run. Created by Brian Michael Bendis. Come on, man. Yes, Brian Michael Bendis. We're talking about Bendis himself is a beast. And
he's polarizing sometimes, but in my opinion, he's definitely a version of a modern Stan Lee for his for the things that he's brought to this level.
That's his creative. It's crazy.
He's created so many different things that will stand the test of time.
Yes, he
including
has.
a hell of a run on Daredevil.
Yeah.
Bendis is the fucking man.
He is. Bendis is the man. I mean, he's somebody that, again, who's given us some quality. Now, the Illuminati has, again, formulated in a sense by Reed Richards' belief and also arrogance that the scientists of the world and those who actually choose to ignore things that are happening around the world, especially of the supernatural, intergalactic or anything of that nature. Reed Richards decided that he wanted to put together a group that can stop things from happening before, in a sense, before it's any bigger threats that would actually come through. So, of course, he got together with some of the greatest minds and some of the most arrogant mofos out there as well, Namor, and brought them together to kind of counteract.
Tony brought them together.
Well, Tony, with the help of Reed, because Reed went to Tony.
They first met in Wakanda after the Kree Skrull War.
T'Challa, Iron Man, Reed.
But and at the same time, T'Challa was hesitant because he was for his people.
Yeah, he's the only one who said no.
T'Challa is pretty much the only one who's like, "Yo, this is a dumbass idea."
Yeah,
yeah. Namor was like, "No, this is stupid too," but he agreed to.
They were the one with it and kind of got on board.
They were the two that hesitated the most.
T'Challa was the one who continued to be hesitant of it, even when they were rolling.
When he was,
the whole time was like,
because Namor was like because he's like in the Avengers and the X-Men. He's like, they're criminals, they're scumbags. We're not going to rely on all of this. So he said no to Tony's initial idea of bringing basically all those teams together, and instead he said that he would do the small meeting of just them and nobody else gets to be told, not spouses or not like Sue Rich, nobody else. And T'Challa wasn't on board with that, and so he's the one who said no originally, and the rest of them ended up going for it. And then I mean they got smacked around a couple of times when their ego,
there's a lot of
in a bad way.
Iron Man felt like individually they all within their teams represented information that if they had collectively, they could have avoided a lot of conflicts, such as the Kree Skrull War.
Yeah,
but they weren't a team like the Avengers or the Inhumans or the X-Men. So when they got together, a lot of times it was like too many chiefs, not enough Indians. And they made mistakes. So when people talk about the film and how arrogant, a mistake, that is very comic book accurate. There's a lot of situations they felt like Leroy Jenkins and that shit, and they just went in thinking, "Oh, we're the best of the best. Who could stop us?" And they got stopped plenty of times.
I mean, you're in the club. You're in the club with two kings.
Yeah.
So you're going to bump heads regardless.
Two kings that have a deep-seated hatred for each other.
Right, for each other.
Deep-seated.
Literally, right after they form, they go out, to space, and they're like the Kree.
They had just
they threaten them, and then they end up running, and the Kree catch them and torture them.
Yep.
Right.
Tony escapes, and it's kind of a cheesy thing where he's like, "Thanks for the combat training, Cap," because he didn't have his suit, so he had to actually just fight. And they end up escaping, but it's like their first kind of foray into it. They go out there and start threatening people in space, and they get their asses kicked.
The first thing they did go and threaten the Skrulls. The Skrulls capture them and figure out how to copy them, and they created a black bolt that they almost killed.
The black bolt almost killed them. Yep. When they made
when you look at when you look at the history of the Illuminati, they fucked up a lot,
bro.
And they caused problems, and it was all coming from their arrogance.
Yep.
Which is, again, we're not going crazy. We're not going into the movie, but we did see that. It's the arrogance.
Foretold.
It was right there. It was.
But you gotta look at it like these knuckleheads are the reason we even had World War Hulk, bro.
Exactly. They caused some of the biggest
calamities. Caused it.
They caused the biggest calamity, or something that they actually wanted to stop. Initially, Black Bolt himself, which here's the thing, bro, because I'm going to mention something. Somebody who I follow, they made a video talking about how lame Black Bolt is. And that how lame Black Bolt is, how lame the Inhumans are, and that they have
with a whisper.
Well, here's the thing, but it surprised me because this guy is well known and a plethora of information and a lot of stuff that he does get right. But when it came to this and to kind of downplay, Black Bolt's effect, in his importance,
who was it? This Black
Bolt? Well, you know what I mean? Because like I said, I don't want to call him out. Live
okay, I thought this was like in like media. I thought this was like an outlet or something.
Well, he's basically he's a content creator, a huge YouTube content creator.
Oh, right. I know
exactly.
Right, I know
and the thing is, it's like, wow, like really? I mean, to say that
you don't know the comics, bro. You don't know the comics.
No, he does.
No, he does. Yeah,
he knows him, but to basically I guess he let his own personal opinion, kind of infiltrate.
Is it because of the TV show? The Inhumans TV show made him look bad.
I think it was before that because he basically doesn't have. He feels as though that Black Bolt's, his only contribution, especially his only flex of power relies in his voice itself, not basically his strategic.
Which is crazy because even without the voice, he's a Superman.
He's a tactician too, man.
Exactly.
There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who don't legit have a lot of hate toward the Inhumans because they were big fans of mutants, and the Inhumans were basically seen by a lot of people as like replacement mutants
from space
because Marvel wasn't putting as much shine on X-Men and mutants while Fox still had the license. And so there was that long stretch where there wasn't a lot of love given to X-Men and mutants. Fantastic Four was like gone, right? And so a lot of people saw Inhumans as like the poor man's mutants when they were introduced into the 616.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
It's stupid, but I think people carry that kind of shit over into not expecting anything decent, from the movie. And it didn't help that the show was so god awful.
The show is what killed the vibe for a lot of people, I think, man.
It was, but which is why we never expected to see Anson Mount as Black Bolt
in the
MCU. I loved the suit. It felt comic
book.
Like there was so much about it. But I mean,
there's a multiverse where Black Bolt can get beat by cops.
What?
The show.
The show is
got beat up by
got
cops.
his ass whooped by some
cops.
The show is a multiverse where he's able to get beat up by cops.
Did you watch that show?
You watched the show?
After the first episode, I was done with it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh man, it only got worse from there.
When they cut off they cut off my girl's hair, Medusa's hair. I said, I'm done with it. I'm done. I can't.
Which was something we know they can't do.
They can't cut her hair, bro. It's alive.
So here's the thing, and without even diving into that show, because I want to divert against that, away from that. We're not going to split up that. It'd be a whole hour. I'm not even doing that. We're talking about Black Bolt himself. In especially in the Marvel universe, and we're going to divert against the cinematic universe, but in the Marvel universe, to say that Black Bolt is not a powerhouse, to say that he's a meaningless character, to say that the Inhumans themselves are meaningless, that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
No, that's just stupid.
That's a stretch.
It's not quite a stretch. It is more.
It's like comic book blasphemy right there.
It's if they know the character, then that's just willful ignorance.
There's so much. There's so much that's dynamic about
because
Black
you might not like a character. Like if I don't like Captain Marvel, I'm not going to sit there and say she's weak and no good. Like I just might not like the
when I know the comic version.
But to say that, but to say she isn't. She is a weak character who couldn't beat somebody. That's just because I don't like her. That's conflating.
And the interplay in the royal family of the Inhumans and stuff. That's like some Game of Thrones shit. When you look at at how it's unfolded in the books, people just don't know that. Like people who aren't that familiar or never really gave him a fair shake early on, all they see is a guy who it's like. Oh, well, I mean, he just has a voice that is really loud and can kill people. But, we'll be like, oh, well, I'll just wire his jaw shut. I'll break his like whatever. They only see that as like, so He's just got a loud voice. Like
it's very short-sighted. It's short-sighted because you stop and think about the control, the willpower to not ever cough or sneeze or clear your throat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might level up a city by clearing your throat. It's so much deeper than he's Black Canary or something. That's not.
He can't even catch a cold, bro.
The fact that if that dude just he just takes like an audible like deep breath,
a whimper,
like the most powerful superheroes in Marvel, their assholes are puckering. They're like, oh no.
There is a scene in the comics where the Illuminati are arguing about what to do during the Secret War conflict, and you hear, you see a ... the ellipses, and then the table cracks. It's mind blowing the amount of power that he doesn't use.
Basically possessed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that full and see, here's the thing, and Maz, I'm sort of glad that you basically brought this up. I didn't come here to hear you whisper. I came here to hear you scream. Okay, so we're talking about World Breaker Hawk. Okay.
World Breaker Hawk.
So we're talking about World Breaker Hawk. We're talking about Hawk at pretty much almost at his peak. One of the versions of Hawk. You know what I mean? When he was angry at the simple fact that the Illuminati, because of their own selfishness, called themselves sending him to a planet of peace where basically the trajectory got diverted and he got sent to another planet where, again, a war
essentially planet. The planet that we, different version of the planet that
that we actually see.
The car.
Exactly.
The car.
Exactly. So again, he, gets there, befriends a tribe of individual, finds a wife, has a kid, believes his kid to be dead after the ship that the Illuminati sent him there on explodes, killing his wife, and he's angry at that point. So he's looking at everything that's actually happened to him, the anger of him being sent away, dealing what he had to deal with, and then having to go back. The first planet that he landed on was what? He went to the Inhumans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he goes to them, he sees Black Bolt, and of course there's a fight in between both. I mean, come on, you can't. But everybody, and the thing is, I heard that conversation. He was talking about that particular book. He also talked about the Black Order when they, went to Attila and they actually, talked to Black Bolt. They were actually baiting him. Thanos comes. There's a fight between Thanos and Black Bolt, and just because Black Bolt at that particular time lost the fight, I mean, we're talking about Thanos at that point, bro.
Yeah,
him versus Thanos.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you refuse to talk about, I think, one of the most prolific fights between him and Vulcan. That fight was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Toe to toe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Toe to toe, earth shattering. You know what I mean? But you're not talking about those things. Black Bolt is very important, very strategic, very strong without his voice. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Like, there's more to him than meets the eye, and even basically him joining the Illuminati, the Illuminati, without it wasn't by fluke. It was also, okay, I have something to gain. What will you give me as well?
Right.
Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean? So again, we're talking about powerhouses: Stephen Strange, Reed Richards, Iron Man. Of course, Tony Stark.
Black Panther. Namor.
Black Panther. Well, again,
Black Panther later.
Yeah. He was on and off because
Xavier
him and Cap were a later rendition of the group, and Cap left.
Yeah,
because he was, again, if you read Fear itself, then you know what happens after that. But there's a lot that kind of goes into it. But again, we're talking about a group, who are in themselves playing Earth's keeper. You know what I mean? That if any threat arises, even to the point where these individuals even planned on literally themselves almost destroying the multiverse. You know what I mean? Just to keep the peace. That's the only thing that they thought that they could actually do. You know what I mean? Developing weapons to destroy, like literally. So again, what you saw and what Vinny basically, spoke about was what we got in the film as far as their incompetence.
A small
bleeds
rendition.
all over the comics. It bleeds all over the book. So it's not a far-fetched. It's just the simple fact that we got that version. But it was so many different things that incursions. because of them. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I mean, having them around, first introduction, what we get from them, how often the group changed, the differences between two kings that literally hated each other. We got Hank McCoy, who also came later, and became a member of the Illuminati. Again, they had a problem. Like, it was always vacant seats. It was like a revolving door.
Yeah,
actually 3 kings.
A lot of egos.
Because Black Bolt's a king too. So really 3
we even
kings,
had story with them each possessing one of the Infinity Stones and being responsible for keeping it from not only the villains but from each other. So each were responsible from having the stone and not letting even the other Illuminati members know where it is, and until eventually they had to obviously get together and use it for a threat. And even that became problematic because Hood, who was being a villain who was new and being pushed into the forefront, was basically able to use their arrogance against them. I mean, it was an ongoing thing where they were, all the top, smartest people, and in a way that they might not be as arrogant within their own team, they were with each other, because it was like a dick swinging contest. They were all wanted to be top dog and alpha, and they got together with the good intentions of all being the smartest people in the room usually, and now they're all just so many powerful people in one room. It was, it's like a dream team that just backfired because everyone wanted the ball.
Well, nobody's more arrogant than Reed. I mean, this guy made a council of himself. And gave him all his cells, Infinity Stones. Like, come on, bro. So I think he's the most arrogant one on the council was Reed.
I mean, there's a version of Reed, the Maker, that's maybe one of the most powerful villains that we've ever seen in comics, period.
Yeah, the Maker,
So. And the thing is, it's like I would partially blame, and people might disagree, but just hear me out. I would partially blame the Illuminati for what happened in Secret Invasions. A lot of 100%. Intel. 100%. A lot of intel, a lot of information that was basically provided. People want to say that, okay, well, this happened way before, but there was a lot that was involved.
That was doing on the outer rim. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There was a lot involved. There was a lot. I mean, a copy of Black Bolt, a copy, like just a lot of information that was provided and what that was allowed. You know what I mean? But
because I always blame Tony for that by himself. But you know what?
Nah,
it was all of them. It was all of them, bro. It was all of them. You're right about that.
Because Tony was warned. He was warned.
Yeah,
and they were.
See, I blamed it on him for the longest, but since you pointed out that, I'm like, oh wow, you know what? Yeah, maybe you're right, because that the whole squad, they had messed up. That all of them messed up during that Secret Invasion time, bro.
But the cool part was that was a catalyst for springboarding into Civil War, because their involvement there, realizing that, all right, maybe we got to stop thinking that just because we have these powers, we always know what to do. We just do what we think is best. I think it was Tony's involvement with the Illuminati where he's seen I think he's seen kind of through what the team, actions resulted in. I think it was like a mirror. Like he got to see kind of like a mirror of what he's been doing by seeing, the arrogance of everyone else who's like him is being surrounded by those type of people, and seeing that, all right, maybe we need someone to watch and kind of regulate what we're doing here, because unchecked, we are dangerous.
True, yeah.
Definitely unchecked, they're a danger, and we see that. Like we see what happens, especially when
the Secret War storyline. They literally are responsible for the 616 in the comics as we know it now, because they're the ones who completely and utterly controlled and decided on what to do when that event was taking place of the worlds colliding. They didn't consult with the United Nations or the X-Men or event. Like they took it upon themselves to decide to go along and whether or not they were to build a bomb to blow up the approaching Earth, where one of them was going to be destroyed or both of them were going to be destroyed. They didn't consult with anyone. They decided what to do amongst themselves, and it was them And then as a result of that, the Cabal and Thanos and Namor that went around destroying worlds, and our government, United Nations, Council, no one had a hand in it. It was all the Illuminati deciding what to do about a world-ending event.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy. I'm looking at it like that, man. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Like, I mean, these cats,
I blame Tony for that for years, bro. Like this guy is just too arrogant, bro. He don't as long as it benefits the things that he wants to work out for him and his current situation. That's how I think Tony. I love Tony Stark. Don't get me wrong. Iron Man, one of my favorite characters, bro. But that dude's selfish as hell, man. Like very.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about him. Because if he was that intelligent and not selfish, it would be kind of ridiculous. Like
weird. Yeah.
I think
because it wouldn't be Tony if it wasn't.
Because you see a lot of people compare, like, let's say Elon Musk to him and say, oh, why doesn't he give all of his money to charity? And it's like, if you were the type of person who would give your money away to charity, you would never become a trillionaire in the first place. You would be spending it as you get it. So that type of person isn't going to be a philanthropist in the same way that you would expect him to be just because he has that kind of money, power, and intelligence.
He'll give the things he wants to give.
He thinks is right at all times. And in his head, he's doing, the right thing. But he's too smart to think like the regular people, or too smart to think that he needs to consult with anyone else.
Just like with Civil War, you know what I'm saying? That's why I blame him for Secret Invasion, because look at the mess he made with Civil War. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at the mess he made with the Century. Plain and simple.
Oh,
look at the mess they all basically made with the Century, bro.
The fucked up part is in Civil War, technically he was right. It's just how he went about it. If he would have went about it and consulted them, like he went around capping everybody's back and had a whole act and registration and mandate and an ultimatum. Like, you do this or we're throwing you in jail. Like, if he had went to Cap and talked
that's
to him
the part he messed up.
If he went and talked to Cap about Registration Act before enacting it, it might have went completely different.
And then Cap ends up getting shot on Capitol Hill. Boy, I was so mad when that happened, though. Oh my God, when they killed Captain
defenseless.
Handcuffed.
Capitol Hill gets shot, man. I was like, oh my God, this is so straight up.
And he had turned himself in too. Like he didn't even have to be there.
Who he was with? Mockingbird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was crazy. That's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They can't kill Cap like that. The man handcuffed, no shield, his hood's off.
Yep.
Tony Stark, boy.
It is what it is, bro. But this all stems from decisions and discussions that they had. And again, if you look at the Illuminati, it's what they and that was one of the biggest problems that even T'Challa had. He was like, how can we ourselves make the decision and for the best interest of the world without looking at ourselves as selfish or having selfish intent? You know what I mean? Like, how? Like, where would all of this? You know what I mean? How can you say that? You know what? We're in a sense the keepers, the gatekeepers, and we make all decisions on any type of actual threat. You're making decisions on what you basically think should happen,
right?
But like every last one of you motherfuckers are selfish. Like, does that make sense? Like, somebody's bound to actually, you know what I mean? They're going to actually make a suggestion for their own personal gain and agenda.
Personal gain, their own country. Yeah.
And that's what I love about these modern stories of these characters, because kind of like how Jor-El told Kal-El, like, you're not here to rule them, you're here to help them. If you had that kind of power, it'd be very difficult to not accidentally, incidentally rule people by just like, man, I could stop all this shit. Like,
this is why Superman is my number one, bro.
It would have to be very difficult not to just rule Earth thinking you're doing the right thing, because you could stop so much pain.
This dude moved the solar system out of the way of his dying star. You can't that kind of power, bro. And this little planet, he could have took over anytime he wanted to take over. But that's another thing about him that I just love him, bro, because he could take over any minute, any moment. He doesn't. He chooses to do the right thing because of his father on Krypton, and then the way his parents raised him here. Like,
yeah,
you can't make this stuff up, man.
Nah, but you have a group of individuals who that's what I'm saying. Like the entry in it, you know, and even as I wonder if Bendis went into this so thinking complex. That like I wonder if he went into this whole thing thinking that I don't know how much of a run I'm gonna have with this story and if it's gonna catch on, because it was the Illuminati was it always ends up being a divisive discussion, bro.
Well, it's a dope story.
The dope thing about Bendis is with the Illuminati, right? Is because the way it sprung into Civil War, but Civil War is a huge reflection of Powers.
Yeah,
and Powers is an Image comic from Bendis, and that predated Civil War. When Civil War came out, I was like, oh, they ripped off Bendis's Powers, but he was working for Marvel at the time, so I'm sure that was kind of a nod or an influence from him anyways. But in Powers, it's about you know, a couple of detectives who are in charge of a superhero division in a world in which powers are outlawed, and the only powers that exist are government regulated, like, you know, work for the government and are there on purpose. If you're just out being a vigilante with powers, you're fucked. They put you in a room that saps your powers. And there was a show on PlayStation Plus, believe it or not, that was actually kind of decent, but nowhere near as good as the comics. I highly wanted one of the stories that got me back into comics when I took a couple years off of it was Brian Michael Bendis's Powers and Ennis's Preaching. But Powers was incredible. It's a highly suggested read to check it out. But that was very influential to Civil War, and I think that Bendis took a lot of that kind of, you know, path towards Civil War with Illuminati, that if I'm going to put these characters in a position where it would make complete sense predating Civil War for, you know, you just sit back at Civil War and think, yeah, why the fuck aren't these powers, these superheroes regulated at all? They never get in trouble. They cause so much damage. They do so much. They just do whatever they want. And if you or I went out and just like tried to stop people who committed crimes, like, we would get in trouble. So why aren't they? How can you sue Spider-Man if he throws his car at the Rhino?
What kind of insurance do they have in New York where all these buildings getting blown up? You know?
Yep.
Hence the registration, bro.
Absolutely.
So you know, in Civil War. Butt naked, you over there quiet, bro. What you doing, man? What you over there? Butt naked. You butt naked in over there?
He's doing some research.
He's looking up something. He's just taking it on. Well, see, and again, we talk about responsibility. We talk about, you know, being responsible for certain things. The Illuminati spawned, of course, Namor's grievances, which then, what did we get after that? The Cabal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You know,
damn, that came right after Illuminati. Wow. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, the thing is, the Illuminati was a catalyst for a lot of
so many stories, bro.
Even though my God, they were a pain in the ass and they fucked up constantly, they were the catalyst used for some of the biggest, you know, crossover events, some of the biggest storylines that we've had in the last like 10 plus years.
Yeah,
I forgot about the Cabal.
Was incredible,
I forgot about them, bro.
Yeah, the Cabal is a big, huge part of the Secret War story.
Yeah,
I mean, Namor decided. Well, the Illuminati created a planet-destroying bomb to send to the Earth that were going to collide with ours, and none of the members of the Illuminati had the balls to go to that planet and explode it and come back. Even Black Panther was going to do it, and he couldn't do it. Namor was like, all right, I got it. And they were like, what? You're fucking crazy. And they're like, well, that was the plan. Y'all just didn't have the balls to do it. So after they kind of basically got on his ass for doing what they wanted to do in the first place, he was like, all right, I know somebody who doesn't have the moral, you know, hang-ups.
Moral compass you guys have.
Moral compass to stop. All right, our Earth and another Earth is going to collide. If we don't do something about it, we both going to die. So
everybody be dying.
Like, yo, Thanos, hey, Thanos, this is what's going on. And this is how we can stop it. And Thanos was like, hold up, I get to just go around bouncing Earth to Earth, just blowing it up. All right, bet.
Let me do it.
Namor was like, all right, this is a man who gets it done. And Cabal started, and they went around like bloodlust in their height of glory, blowing up Earth after Earth after Earth after Earth. and loving it.
And then what did Namor do?
You know what's funny?
After he basically realized that there was a bag of bullshit and what was going on was wrong, then he actually goes to Doom to help him stop it.
Yep. Yep.
Oh shit!
And then amongst this, Black Panther and Namor are beefing, and Namor Black Panther leaves him on one of the planets and dips, and it's like, you know what? Fuck you! I'm gonna leave you here. I ain't gonna kill you, but he did some Batman and Ra's al Ghul shit. He's like, I'm not gonna kill you.
I'm about to take my crazy tonight.
And he said, "Boom, I'm out," and just left him on the planet to explode.
Oh my god, man!
Yeah,
all those stories, bro. Like, I forgot about all them other stories, bro. All those other arcs.
Yeah, bro.
That's
it's
crazy,
a lot of arcs,
bro.
It's a lot of arcs, bro.
I have all those books right in the crates. Oh my god, I'm reading tonight.
And that's what I'm saying, like, bro. Like they have spawned some great and amazing storytelling.
Stories, bro.
Each individual, you know. But at the same time, I wonder how risky Bendis thought it was. You know what I mean? To write, you know, these stories, and everything is always centered around Mr. Effing Stark himself all the time. Really quick, we got a $6.99 super chat by Two Ferns. Thanks for all the wishes, everyone. Love you too, bro. Thank you for being here. We also got a $2 super chat by Bob Dylan. Keep my hero's name out your effing mouth. Yo,
Bob is always tripping, bro. That's funny.
Tony died to save us all.
Oh god,
you know Tony, man.
But he had to go out the hero.
Tony,
he had to go out the hero. That's what he does.
He did.
That's what he does.
But yeah. I mean, I think so. Let me ask y'all a question. Is it safe to say that with what we know after seeing, and I'm only going to reference this briefly, but after seeing, Multiverse of Madness, knowing that they did mention the incursions, which the incursions plays a lot into what we'll actually see with Secret Wars.
That was a big thing
if they go down that route. If they go down there, because they could give us Secret Wars, they could give us so many different things. But they mention incursions, so that's the only thing that we can think of at this particular point. Do you think now? Let me ask you a question. How do you think? And I'll ask you first, butt naked, because you back there eating an ice cream sandwich, aren't you?
Damn, Skippy, it's fucking hot here.
So let me ask
sweating
you.
My SpongeBob SquareBalls off. So
let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask everybody this question. With this coming, how do you think, if they thought about this, and I know Kevin Feige has, because he gave us the Illuminati, do you think that he's thinking long term? Do you think he's thinking about bringing them back in? And if he's thinking that, how do you think he could do it? If he's thinking about doing something like that?
The first question, the answer is Kevin Feige is always thinking long term. He's just not always necessarily thinking about what we're thinking about.
Yeah,
because there's just so much to choose from. I don't think we're gonna get an Illuminati heavy MCU moving forward, because I think this was a nod to the comic books. It made sense within the story that they were trying to tell for Doctor Strange. But you can't just dive right in to the whole point. Like, that was a cameo, but it served a purpose, but it's not, it wasn't the main focal point of the movie, and you couldn't make it the main focal point of the movie because all of those versions of those characters were not established in our universe yet. We're going to get Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie. Who knows if we'll see Black Bolt in the Inhumans again? Maybe, maybe not. I didn't think we'd see him ever, and we just did, so it's possible. We don't know how the X-Men are going to, be played out into the MCU. And the thing is, I look at the Illuminati, it worked with the contained story they were telling right there, but to do a full-fledged Illuminati that has a significant presence in this MCU and not without, in the multiverse and stuff, you have to establish those characters in a way that, like we were talking about, not rushing Midnight Suns, because those characters need time to breathe and evolve before you do that story. I think it's the same with the Illuminati. We haven't actually seen Reed Richards really yet. We haven't actually seen Black Bolt yet in this proper MCU. We don't have Tony Stark. All right. We haven't yet seen the introduction of Namor. So maybe at some point, if and when they do it, I think Doctor Strange might be the kind of guy who replaces Tony and Reed as far as maybe bringing them together, because right now he's kind of like one of the elder statesmen of the MCU. But yeah, I don't think they're going to rush into doing something like that, because you've got to establish those characters in the MCU first. It worked in Multiverse of Madness because they didn't really have to establish those characters, because they were supposed to be foreign to our Doctor Strange. He wasn't supposed to know them and know their backstory and stuff like that, and that would keep him off his game. So if the Illuminati show up at some point, that's cool. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I don't think it's going to be in a massive role. Now, that being said, they could adapt things that the Illuminati have done using specific individual characters to kind of feed into some of those storylines if they choose to pursue them in the MCU. Maybe, maybe Doctor Strange does something that kicks off something. One of them could do something that kicks off Secret Wars, instead of it being the Illuminati as a group. So we'll see. But I expect to see most of the members active in the MCU, but not necessarily the Illuminati taking shape and taking root in the MCU for a long time.
So we already know that it's rumored, and I'm glad Charlie the Unicorn kind of touched on it. X-Men show up, print that money. He said print that money. But Tyler, said that should be getting Namor and Black Panther 2, possibly. That's rumor.
That's the rumor. Yeah, we'll see.
But we'll see. I mean, if they basically do that, and if
there's so many questions about the Black Panther movie.
I went you there.
It'd be a big misstep if they brought him in without.
Stupid.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
it'd be like doing Venom without Spider-Man. Who would be crazy enough to do that?
Oh yeah, right. It's freaking stupid Sony.
Yeah, I would love to see Illuminati eventually, but it, like Brendan said, it makes so much more sense if everything else is established for it to be as important or as impactful as it is for the heads of these tribes to be getting together. Because right now, for Reed and Black Bolt and Professor X to be getting together before we see X-Men and Fantastic Four, then when you see Fantastic Four or X-Men, you're going to be thinking Illuminati as opposed to their individual groups. So it's one of those things that's like, you don't want to see you don't want to see Voltron before you see the Lions, because once you see the Lions, you'll be like, nah, just give me Voltron. You want to see the build up to it.
Yeah. We don't want to DCEU this shit.
Yeah. You got to build.
Hey, cut that out.
But it's a perfect foreshadow getting it in Multiverse of Madness, because it's like,
and then we build to the real.
Here's what could here's what is a possibility in the future of these heads getting together, and it's a great litmus test. Anytime they do something that's a cameo or something, Feige is obviously looking to see how people react, what the hype is, how it's being received. And obviously it's something that everybody's excited for, but it means so much more if we see that fleshed out once everything else individually is already established. I mean, there's so many Fantastic Four stories to tell before you take Reed out of that equation and put him with another group.
And we also have the possibility too of having Doctor Strange now be weary of these characters as they pop up, as the Fantastic Four enters the MCU.
You already know.
And Reed Richards, he sees him and he's kind of like, all right, I'm going to keep an eye on this guy, because I don't know if, because this guy didn't listen to me, the Illuminati fucked up, and
exactly,
there could be that element of maybe maybe Strange is like, I want to form our version of the Illuminati and do it right, and he has the hubris and thinks that he can make that happen, or he's weary of them and doesn't trust the various members of the Illuminati as they pop up in the MCU proper. So there's a lot that they could do with that keeps the heart of it from the comics, but flips it on its head. So yeah, we'll see. But again, it all comes down to don't, slow play it. Don't do it right. Don't just rush it.
And it's a great parallel too, because these are all people who quote unquote want to be the ones holding the knife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. So didn't Feige just go on a retreat with the heads of Marvel and all the writers and stuff?
Yeah,
but
they might still be on it. I think it was supposed to be like a 2-week thing where they map out.
A 2-week thing, years. Right? Okay, so they already mapped out the next 10 years.
Yeah,
so
they're mapping out. Up to 2032.
And for all we know, it's the next 10 years past what they've already mapped out.
Right. So if they've already got mapped out
22 to 32, it's probably 25 to 35 that they're working on.
Exactly. They probably already have the next 3-4 years mapped out, and so they're doing the 10 after that. So we're looking at.
Well, they've already said
15 years
out.
Absolutely.
They wanted World War Hulk, correct?
No, they can't.
They can't do it yet because the deal between them and
still
Universal
got the rights to. They won't do.
I thought they got it back already.
No,
not yet.
They can put it, but then they'd have to share didistribution money with Universal.
Yeah.
So it's they'd have to share the cake, and they're not going to share the cake.
That's why they put Hulk. That's why they put Hulk in Ragnarok.
Other movies
is because if they do a Hulk movie, then they have to share distribution with Universal.
Right.
So
by the time they get a Hulk, Ruffalo will be like 60 years old. It's
not going to happen because Universal is not going to let that go.
Which is crazy how you can basically introduce a She-Hulk television show, She-Hulk, and just shoehorn in Banner because, again, he's just a supporting character in the MCU as of right now. That's the only way to do it.
All the different movies. And the beauty of it is all the individual solo Hulk movies haven't exactly done that great. And he's the type of character
the second one did
in the group where he doesn't have a lot of time to soak up because there's a lot of people in this ADHD era that just want to see Hulk smash. And if they had 2 hours to spend on, him fighting with his inner piece, they wouldn't give a shit anyway. That's why 2 of the previous movies didn't do too hot. So Disney isn't going to cut Universal a $5 billion check to get it back, or $1 billion, or even a $100 million check to get it back because the solo film won't make that money back.
That's such a waste of a dynamic character.
Put Hulk in all the other movies and just tell the story through.
The downside is that we're not going to the Hulk stories that we really want. We're not going to get the way we want them because as much as I loved Ragnarok as a movie, that was when we think about Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. That is, we're not getting that from the comics.
A tease, bro.
It's what we got is it's still going to be, well, we're going to give you kind of a taste of that Hulk storyline, but it's going to be the B plot or, within a Thor movie or a Guardian or like something else.
Right.
It's not going to be, it's going to be sandwiched into maybe an episode or 2 of She-Hulk. It's not going to be, a full-on Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. It's not going to be those kinds of things. So,
which is tough because World War Hulk was such a great. Here's
great
your guy again.
Story, bro.
Because Hulk in the comics kind of went through what he's going through in the movies now, where it's like a lot of people are tired of seeing him get his ass kicked, and they want to see badass Hulk again. And aside from Planet Hulk, in World War Hulk, I would also love to see Hulk the End or Future Imperfect. So I would love to see a Future Imperfect story, but World War Hulk is like, here's your badass, rampage Hulk that can't be stopped, and what you imagine Hulk could like at his peak, and we won't get that in a solo film, but
not in a solo. It's a way that you can basically tell it.
Yeah. We might get to see that through another movie, the way we got kind of Planet Hulk through another movie, but we're not going to get it see it be its own film.
I'm thankful for whatever they give, as long as we get something with Hulk. Because I feel that the Hulk is he's such a dope character, bro. And to use him the way they have,
he's going to be a backseat character. He's going to be a B character in the MCU.
It sucks, man.
It's just a licensing thing, and Universal is not going to let it go. And because I guarantee you, Kevin Feige and Marvel and Disney would love to do it if they could do it right. but realistically, Universal, like they're like, hell no, we're not letting that go. Are you fucking crazy? Absolutely not. It's a business thing, and it's like it sucks. But Universal, because that's just they don't have to do anything, and they're just going to make money.
Yeah.
So
and it sucks because I really wanted Norton to keep doing it, but man, Ruffalo, man, he's made it his own, bro. Like I gotta respect him. Like Ruffalo made the character his
and that's
own.
The thing
bro.
when you have an actor the caliber of Mark Ruffalo, but he's not going to get the film to really flex that that character.
That sucks,
it's
man.
Gonna be,
that really sucks.
He's gonna be. And the truth is, I think he's more than anything, because I mean he's actually a pretty decent comedic actor. I think more than anything, Banner / Hulk is gonna be kind of like Ragnarok. I think he's gonna be more comedic relief in the MCU.
I don't like think that being a butt of the joke thing with the Hulk, bro. Like
I get it, man, but there's not much else that they're gonna do unless they want to pony up and give a couple $1 billion to fucking to Universal, man. It's just not gonna happen.
That same thing with Thor. Thor's my dude too, bro. But like, I know you gotta have some goofy characters, bro. But like, they make him the butt of the joke too, bro. Two of the most powerful members of the Avengers, and you got them being like clowns. It's like,
and that's their solution to making writing him easier.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the thing is, you have to basically make a story. You have to make a character interesting, and we know that they're right now. Their ploy or their play is, the modern time now moviegoers, the modern times, and they're just, they're not the typical comic enthusiasts that we are that, thirst for these particular stories. Yeah. Right now, it's about dollars and cents, and that's what they're looking at right now. They can care less about. It's not to say that they can care less about the character, and I'm pretty sure that Kevin Feige, there's so much that he wants to do, but just imagine being him and being, someone in charge of that little patch of a world, but at the same time, you got Disney execs saying, okay, we know how you want to play, but we're only going to limit you to this because this is what's going to make money. We're thinking about merchandising. We're thinking about, what puts asses in the seats at a theater and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And he's thinking about a story.
If Universal didn't have those rights tied up then we would have gotten a very different Hulk in the MCU. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
We absolutely would have gotten a very different Hulk.
It's like,
but because they've got it, they're not going to make the Hulk a focal point. They're not going to make him the strongest they've got because they don't technically have him,
Yeah.
And so that's why you're not going to see him, full powered up the way that we would want.
Yeah. It's like us four guys in our generations, bro. We grew up reading the comics heavy. I know all of us did. That's why we're so damn tight, to be honest. But it's like to go from the generation that we came up in when we're reading comics, little cartoons, and now we get to see our heroes like living and breathing on screen, and to have them go from what we've been reading all 20 plus years of comics to have them being like the butt of the joke or not being to their full potential. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, and I'm real picky about my comics, bro, but it bothers me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to go see the movies because at least we're getting them on screen. You know what I'm saying? But it bothers me a little bit as a real comic book fan, a real comic book reader. It's like, damn, I can't get, the mighty Thor. I can't get, Hulk, the strongest there is. It's like, I'm thankful for what I've gotten so far, you know what I'm saying? But I know the meat and potatoes of the game is they gotta make money. They gotta put butts in seats. So it is what it is, and it's not what it's not. The tough part, you know what I'm saying?
Is in Hollywood, the solution to the problems of character growth in comic books is usually stronger villain after stronger villain after stronger villain. So if Spider-Man's able to beat Green Goblin, then his next villain is, Venom. And he's able to beat Venom, then his next villain is Juggernaut. Like, it just goes, his villains get stronger and stronger and stronger as he grows and becomes a more well-rounded character. And that's why we see same thing with Fantastic Four and X-Men, everything. They all get more and more and more powerful villains. It's power scaling. But with comics, a lot of times their solution to power scaling is, well, instead of making a villain that is stronger than Iron Man, that Iron Man has to figure out a way to beat, we'll take away Iron Man's armor, or we'll take away Spider-Man's, webs, or we'll take away Logan's healing factor and what he has to beat.
That book right there, boy.
You know what I mean? Like that is what that's the Hollywood trope. And we'll take away the powers of the superhero to show that it's not the powers that make the man. It's their integrity. They just happen to have powers, which isn't what we want to see, but it's what mainstream media people, like casual home viewers, that is what they feel appeals to them, because everyone wants to see themselves in Logan or Peter. And that is why instead of saying Hulk, have to fight someone stronger and getting stronger, they make his journey more interesting to them by, setbacks personal. And it's very frustrating for comic readers, because usually for us, they get stronger and then so do the villains. And then it's like an anime where the first episode, like they're you go back to the first level 1 of a video game, you're 100 times more powerful. And we see that done right in some instances. Scarlet Witch is a perfect example. I'm sure all of us, when they first seen her in Civil War, or
you're like, what
Age of
the hell
Ultron,
is this?
It's like she's just like
no
she's
powers.
just telekinesis. Scarlet Witch is just like throwing cars around. Like she could do so much more. But I feel like now if it has paid off, because they didn't have to, ramp up Ultron and everybody. I mean, because if she had her powers, then it would have been ridiculous. Because comic books are in a world that is so much bigger than what is on screen, and sometimes we have to take that into consideration. That we're dealing with the knowledge of a vast universe in the comics that has so many years all within it, and putting that mindset into a film that only has like a few dozen superheroes and supervillains. So they take that into consideration more than we do sometimes, and it's tough because we see somebody like Hulk not being what he should be, or Thor not being what he should be, and then
it just bothers me, bro.
In their mindset, we're gonna scale him up, but it's tough to be patient because not to mention what he should be.
The books don't have CG budgets, and they don't have actor contracts and availability and shooting schedules and stuff. So they can tell a story on any scale they want in the books, and they don't have all those extra considerations that will hamper what story is actually told on the screen. Right. Because they don't have those limitations. So like, that's going to factor into it too. And that's where, I want to see a good movie every time I go to the theater, and hopefully, more often than not, that's the case. But if it isn't, then I go home and I might be a little irritated, too. But you know what? Then I'll pick up the books and I'll just read, because that shit movie can't take away the comic books from me. And I'll always have
the movies can't go back. The movies can't go backwards. As readers, we don't mind going backwards. I don't mind watching. I don't mind reading Spider-Man facing Morlun in a character arc, and then the next character arc he's having to fight Kraven. But in the movies, how do you go backwards like that? You villains have to just keep.
No matter how many times Fox screwed up the Phoenix saga, I could go back.
They will go back
the books and the way it was meant to be. And so,
to piggyback off what you and Vinny said earlier, like you can really tell like who Marvel and Disney has control over as far as characters are concerned. Look how Captain America came from, even though he had some sort of serum, he always developed in each movie. Same thing with Black Widow. Same thing with Hawkeye. Same thing with even freaking Wanda. You know what I'm saying? Or the characters they have control over, you see them go from different levels and different power points in each film. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I think about that now, like, damn, you know what? Them two, y'all two's making sense, because it's like, I see why now. I mean, even though they have control over Thor, You know what I'm saying? They still make him the butt of the joke, kind of, sort of, just to pull in.
But they have scaled him up though. Like,
yes, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they still scaled him up from where he was in the first Avengers film. He's gotten way more powerful than he was from that first movie.
I mean, think about the first Thor, and then think about Thor: The Dark World. Two films. Thor: The Dark World was not successful. It was not good at all.
Story. Yeah,
in a simple fact that even Chris himself was getting bored of the character. He already said he was, because of the simple fact that
Taika Waititi was what made him love the character again.
What made him love the character again. So this is what I'm saying. Like, when you have that, and the thing is, here's the plus and minus of the situation is, yes, we get characters that okay, we have expectations of them because of what we've read in pages of a book. But when we actually see him on camera and we're like, well, it's not the perfect iteration, or I might see that he potentially has the potential to reach that level. We see a switch up, and it's because of checks and balances. If number one, you're not, if they're not getting the audience response off of a character, and we're seeing a slow development, we probably see things that we love and we can point out, but they're looking at the simple fact that, okay, I need to develop this character to make money, and it makes sense for them to do so. So, okay, let's just kind of give him more of a comedic value, make him powerful, but give him more of a and make him, you know what? They want to kind of scale him down till he's relatable to us and to some of the viewers.
Guess what? If he was speaking Old English, he would not be relatable. If Age of Ultron, he was like Ultron, we would have words with the people would be like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
They
wouldn't follow.
We would love it. We would love it if he was talking old English.
But see,
but
I like the fact that
as much as I dislike it, I still enjoy this iteration because it makes it more. It's fun. It makes it fun,
different,
and it's something different, and there's a story to tell, and we're getting different versions of him, and we're seeing an evolution of where he can evolve to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. If you
just basically made Thor a king, and made him take Odin's seat, then what more do we have to tell at that particular point? What potential where could we go if we're not watching his development and watching his journey? Watching him fall, lose as much as he's actually lost, coming to his own. And now with this film, he could lose a lot more. You feel me? So this is what we got to see. Like,
dude. I hope not,
him and Wanda have a constant who is
word, bro? Like,
exactly.
And he's lost.
Him and Wanda got the unwritten battle in Marvel is Wanda and Thor, who has the worst.
Who loses the most? Him, and he's lost more than Wanda.
The thing is with Thor, you gotta remember too that the first Thor movie I actually liked, and it was I know some people don't. I actually dug the first movie.
Yeah,
and it was a personal story. It was a personal story about him overcoming his own ego, about his relationship
having to grow
with his
the hell
father, about his relationship with his brother Loki. Right. The second movie was faltered because there wasn't that really personal story. Yes, Loki was involved and his mother died, but it wasn't. Although it was funny, before they got what's his name to play Malekith, the person that they offered the role to was Benedict Cumberbatch, and he turned it down because he said he
I heard about that
significant character, but he was Benedict Cumberbatch was actually offered the role of Malekith in the second Thor movie. But so that kind of faltered. And then you also look at the Avengers movies that he was in, the first Avengers movie, and then and then Age of Ultron. He wasn't getting to tell those super personal stories as much. Then if you look at Ragnarok in a way is a very personal story for the character of Thor, right? Yeah. He's lost, he's abandoned, he's with Mjolnir broken, that is the thing that he always relied on, and he has to learn to not rely on that. He's also he's dealing with the death of his father, and he's dealing with a sister that he never knew he had. That is, and who, is essentially responsible for so much strife and destroying so much of Asgard. So that even though it's a large scale movie, it is a much more personal story than the several movies right before that Chris Hemsworth had played the character in. And now we're looking at Thor: Love and Thunder, and while we don't know all the details about this particular movie, there are a couple of things that, again, make it not just like save the universe, massive scale thing, but makes it a more personal story with one, you've got the return of Jane Foster and how she becomes Mighty Thor. And we'll see, and obviously that's going to be something that's going to be a very personal thing for him to deal with. And then you have Gore the God Butcher, which is a vicious and
they said
amazing
killing
villain,
it too.
But he's also, it's a very emotional, very personal story for Thor. And that's why I'm excited for this movie. And they've, like, Taika Waititi said that Christian Bale is the best villain
beast,
that the MCU has seen to date. And the thing is, obviously every actor, every director is always talking about how great their next project is. But there's a difference between saying, oh, Christian Bale's great in this movie, you're going to love him, and, oh no, he beats Josh Brolin. He beats all these other, major actors. He beats Cate Blanchett as Hela. All right. He's better than Thanos. All right. When you're saying that he's on that level, that he is topping these other amazing villains that we've had, that's a big state. That doesn't sound just like hyperbole. That's like, oh no, this is something special. And again, Gore the God Butcher, it's going to be a very personal story for Thor. And that's why I think, even with the humor that we've come to expect from Taika Waititi, I think there's going to be some serious drama and tragedy in this next movie. I think he will. And I'm looking forward to it.
But see, I think this movie is going to be a deep one, because you got the story with Gore the God Butcher, and then you're going to have Lady Thor combined with freaking Guardians of the Galaxy. This is going to be a crazy movie, bro.
This ain't a spoiler, is it?
I know about Lady Thor, but I don't know about Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm trying to
we're not Guardians. This is about.
It's okay.
Did you know about Gore?
Okay.
You know about?
No, I know about Gore. Yeah.
Okay, so
I didn't see the trailer. I didn't see the trailer, but it's almost impossible to
we'll
avoid
keep it
that.
PG.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen the trailer, but
we haven't seen Gore yet. Nobody has.
Nobody saw it yet. Nobody saw it.
We don't know what he looks like.
And same thing, we don't know the role of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was said from day one that like after Endgame that they were going to be in the
they were together.
That he's with
them
all together.
That's nothing new. We knew Gore and we knew Guardians, but we haven't seen Gore at all. And I wonder if we do. I think they might only give us a tiny little glimpse. I honestly think, because Kevin Feige was actually pissed,
like the comic book Gore. Oh, I
think so too. But Kevin Feige was actually pissed with Disney marketing for showing too much.
He did a Vinny. He pulled a Vinny.
The trailers. Yeah, he was
mad
for Multiverse.
Like I could like Feige anymore.
He was pissed, bro.
He was mad. I didn't know he was mad.
He was pissed, and so I wonder.
He was pissed because they gave way too much away from Multiverse of Madness, bro. It was way too much that they gave away, and he was like, they did it for marketing.
I went back and watched the trailer. Showing that chair is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, showing Xavier's
cover chair. Now I'm gonna go see it.
They shouldn't have. And as much as I got excited when I heard his voice in that first Super Bowl trailer, they never should have even. They never should have even let us hear his voice. Show him walking into the
comic book heads like us, bro.
And so we think maybe the Illuminati.
We already know what time it was.
Don't let us know who's in there. They managed to keep some things under wrap, like Reed Richards. It's like, okay, that like we all wanted that, but we didn't know it was going to happen. But we knew going in that we were getting Professor X.
But you know what? I agree. Like, what more of an impact would it have been if they didn't show the damn chair? If we knew nothing about the Illuminati, if they didn't show Captain
we would have all
Carter's
been
shield,
in the studio.
if we didn't even see the actual room, if we didn't actually see the Ultron bots, if we didn't see anything like that, we wouldn't have been able to kind of piece things together. We would have lived in this world where you can speculate about the things that you saw in the first half of the film, leave it at that, and it would have been much more of an impact and surprise.
The
and then
Ultron
on top of that,
bots
but check it out,
everybody hype.
And then
the weight of them dying wouldn't have been so harsh because you wouldn't have known the motherfuckers was in the first place.
You would have been sitting there thinking you're going to see them.
See, that's why Jokers was so mad, bro.
Because you build that shit up
I was
in your
one
head,
of
then
them.
it's
Yeah.
But so that makes me wonder if, like, going into Love and Thunder, if they're going to keep it more under wraps and we're not going to see a lot of Christian Bale, because the hype is already out there.
When is that movie drop?
Him as July.
This summer.
Next month.
No,
is it June?
Next month, right?
No, it's July. It's July, I think.
It's July.
Like, it's July. It's July.
Yeah,
so
July.
we still have
because Miss Marvel is June.
Yeah,
we got like
Miss Marvel
7 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
We got about 6
Bro,
7
I
weeks.
hope we get the gore from the comics.
We definitely
the design
have
with the face.
definitely have
I
a
want
very
that so
different
bad, bro.
version of Thor. Like we never even got technically Donald Blake Thor. I mean, there's a whole
there was just a name tag reference.
Yeah, the name tag.
There's a
in
whole
the
period
first
where
movie.
Donald Blake, where he just has a legit secret identity. Who didn't even know he was a Thor. And then there's a whole different dynamic with the whole spell. I mean, with the the enchantment on the hammer.
The only time we ever saw
he was
only
we'll
turning
get
the door
when he picked
that
it up.
little sliver at all, that Donald Blake at all with him, maybe. Because he's trying to retire now. Looks like
they could do it in the future. Yeah. They could do it. They could do it in the future. The only way
I don't think they will.
I feel like Donald Blake is more interesting than Unworthy Thor anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, again, with Donald Blake, the only way I think that they can kind of shoehorn it. Here's the thing: is and people are going to probably, as tragically as it sounds, the way that they can actually shoehorn Donald Blake in is by killing Thor now. Is by killing him now.
Because Donald Blake is
and then bringing him in later.
Avatar for Thor.
Avatar, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You think Loki will be back?
Yeah.
I hope not.
In Love and Thunder?
I hope not. I had enough Loki. I need a break from him.
Nothing.
Let it be more impactful for it when he comes back.
If it happens, it happens.
Well, you know, you can't really. Odin can't technically die. He's an Odin 4, so maybe we get like an Odin pop up.
I don't even want to speculate. I just want to wait and see it at this point because I'm just
so close.
After really watching and after watching the multiverse, I was like, "Fuck!" Like. I'm really now I'm like, yo, Vinny, I just can't do it anymore, bro. Because it really
I'm telling you, bro, pick a single movie.
Yeah.
Just one. Not
because like this is what I'm picking with this movie right now. I don't want to know shit.
Because like I know y'all would
something that you can control it, like Ant-Man or something that is like it's not as level as I know you ain't gonna be able to do it with like a Doctor Strange, but something like Thor that is not super in your wheelhouse, like just go completely blind and watch the show after you be like, oh shit, I showed everything.
Yeah.
Because see, I know y'all was mad at me last week, man, because I just felt like after seeing the trap, I'm like, oh man, I get to see the Illuminati on screen, blah 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 blah. Yeah,
because they set that up for you. They showed you way too fucking much. And if they hadn't seen it, it would have been an impact. If you would have saw it, you'd have been like, oh wow.
I saw the movie I saw it 4 times already now, and like after watching that 4th time,
you're going into an Illuminati movie,
right? It made me appreciate it a little more. I'm not as mad as I was like last week. You know what I'm saying? When I first saw them get slaughtered, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now I kind of appreciate the fact that it was only a taste or a cameo. I think for fan service and it fit the story of Multiverse of Madness. It fit the story.
Also really important for people to remember that 838's Wanda was just, like the Wanda that we had seen previously in Age of Ultron and Civil War.
Yeah.
They were dealing with some chick who could throw stuff around with her mind. They weren't worried about her. That's the power level they thought they were dealing with. They didn't know that she could, they didn't know shit about chaos magic.
Ghost walking and shit.
They didn't know she was that powerful.
Yeah.
It makes sense because that's, but
I'm happy for it now, though,
there's
man.
a lot of stories that Illuminati could be a part of in the future, but I definitely see them taking some of those stories away from the Illuminati and using them anyway because they're not going to want to wait for some of those stories because it's going to take a very long time for, like, for instance, if they had Fantastic Four and Avengers, and X-Men in their back pocket ready to be rolled out, they would probably would have held Civil War longer, so that way that could have been more impactful too. So I feel like you know what I mean. So I feel like there's going to be stories that might have been kind of done half-assed that they're now going to wait for until Fantastic Four and X-Men are fleshed out, and then they'll mean so much more when we get Secret Wars or Secret Invasion or not Secret Invasion, but X-Men versus Avengers, shit like that. They're going to wait until all that stuff's established.
That's why they're doing that retreat to map everything out for a decade. Because remember when we got Civil War, like they didn't even know until they were almost done filming that movie. Yeah. If the deal with Sony to bring Spider-Man over was going to happen,
go through.
So they were proceeding as if Spider-Man was not, and then flipped it right at the end when they got the deal worked out with Sony. So they were so focused on just trying to make that miracle happen. Thinking about Fantastic Four and X-Men, that wasn't even like they had wishes, but they didn't have plans because that wasn't on the radar as something that was even remotely possible. No doubt. So they were moving forward with those storylines like Civil War in a way that they could at that time, being like, well, we're never going to have X-Men. We're never going to have Fantastic Four. Now that we have it, now they're looking at all of the stories that, that have been pushed back because they didn't have the key components, and now saying, okay, how can we make those work within the framework of the MCU that we've already created before we had the rights to these characters?
Before we had it, right?
Because now you not only have work. Yeah, because now you not only have all those Fantastic Four stories and all those X-Men stories. Now you have all those, Marvel Universe crossover events that now
Avengers versus X-Men.
They can use them.
Avengers versus Really, technically,
that's a big one.
Really,
that's
technically,
a big one.
Even Infinity Gauntlet, because really what we got in the film was Infinity War. That was Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet, what we got.
The movie Infinity War was really the Infinity Gauntlet story. So they could flip it and do the actual Infinity War story with Adam Warlock and Magus and all that stuff they could do in the future if they wanted to. And that involves sending freaking everybody at, Thanos and whoever else in the Celestials, and we can see those stories now we can see Secret War with
not to mention the Kree Skrull Wars.
The Kree Skrull War.
We could bring in I mean, with X-Men and Fantastic, we could bring in the Shi'ar Empire. There's so much that they can do.
There's tons that they could do. I mean, it's really exciting because now they have virtually all their toys. I mean, we spoke earlier about not having full access to Hulk, but they could still. They just all that keeps them from is doing a soul
now
movie with them.
You can
and
also
it's the same thing with Namor too. They could put Namor in any film that they want. They just can't give him his own film without his own film. Yeah, and so really, they're allowed to at least use every single Marvel character that they have now.
Yeah. Well, they could do the same thing with Kang. Now we can have different iterations of Kang all over the multiverse. Iron Lad, Kang the Conqueror.
The crux of everything moving forward with the MCU, though, yes, we've tapped into the multiverse potential, and so that opens up a lot of doors. The problem is you don't want to throw open every door, all right? Because if every movie feels like, oh, well, there's a multiversal connection and, oh, well, this version of this character is going to die, but there's another version of the character over here, we lose consequence and we lose the gravity of the circumstances that
of the loss or the feeling the depth of the loss.
We still need those Captain America Winter Soldiers and Civil Wars. We still need those homecomings. We still need those personal individual stories that this is a great story and it doesn't have to have connections to 7 other Marvel TV shows and movies that we've got planned. Yes, we want the connective tissue for some of those larger kind of things, but we still need those personal, more individual. Sometimes it just needs to be the stakes are very personal and important to that person or maybe a city like Daredevil and in Hell's Kitchen in New York City, but not like you're saving the world or the universe in every single movie and every single TV show. they have to make sure that we're not just making everything on such a grand scale that it all loses meaning.
They need to use America to go find a planet that's about to be destroyed by an incursion and steal their T'Challa and come back and then get the multiverse a break.
There you go. Bring T'Challa back.
Pretty much.
This cover breaks my heart. Just looking at it, no, I'll never see it on the big screen. Is this
never say never? Never say never.
Not in a solo film.
It kills my
It's
vibe,
not gonna.
man.
It just won't be. You just won't see it as World
Animation.
War Hulk. It could be something totally different.
Yeah, animation was dope. Though.
Never say never, bro. Never say never. There's a lot. You know what I mean? So I think
Vinny, I need this piece, bro.
Huh?
I think I need Vinny to do this one. Yeah, that shit is fire, bro.
Yeah,
I love this book.
If we see a World War Hulk iteration, do we want to see him face Silver Surfer or Beta Ray Bill?
Ooh.
Because animated switched it up.
For me, Surfer.
Animated put in Beta Ray Bill.
I want to
see Silver Surfer, bro.
I
want to see Surfer.
And him hanging with Surfer meant so much more to me.
Yeah, I want to see Surfer, bro. Because Beta Ray Bill was the one they switched over.
One thing to consider, though, is that while there are some major storylines that, we're not going to get to see in the, on the screen or in the way that we would ideally want them based on years of reading comics. We are fortunate that we are in a time now where we have another medium in video games where we can get amazing stories that they won't necessarily be able to do on the, on the big screen for the MCU, but we can get that Spider-Man video game from 2018 that told a great story. We can get the Miles Morales game that came out at the PS5 launch. They're doing a Spider-Man 2. Insomniac Games is doing a Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation. We've got they're also doing a Wolverine game, right?
That game looks crazy.
There have been rumors about maybe a Daredevil game too. There's so between that and then animation, like Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, that stuff, there is potential for us to get those stories that we know are not going to be done exactly the way we want them on the big screen because of licensing and all that. So video games provide that other medium that we can really, really enjoy. And like I said, I mean, to me, the 2018 Spider-Man is the best superhero video game I've ever played, in my opinion. I know I love the Arkham series and stuff like that, and I love Miles, and I think Miles is actually better in a lot of ways, but it's a shorter, more truncated story, so that's why I still give it to the 2018 full-fledged game. But yeah, man, video games, and right now with Spider-Man 2, and Wolverine coming up, and then a lot of other, video game properties that are being made into, full-fledged games. There's a lot for at least those stories for us to be able to enjoy as well. So, I mean, right now it's just first world problems.
Yeah,
bro. Anakin's twin just said, "Did Doctor Strange mention that Reed was from the '60s?" He did.
He made a '60s joke.
Okay. Yeah. He did. So I don't know if the ones that we get are going to be a throwback version of them. I don't know.
I think it was more. I think it was more just a reference to like the origin of the Fantastic Four in the comics. I don't think it was like, oh, there's a Reed Richards, from like the '60s in our universe. I think it was just like it was a nod,
just more of like a homage to the character,
specifically to comic book lore and history.
Yeah.
But he's like, aren't you from the '60s? I was like, oh shit. So we get the old school Fantastic Four.
We should see. I mean, so now, not that it had anything to do with it because the contract was done way in advance, but the John Krasinski did a 4-season contract for the Amazon Prime show Jack Ryan, and they've done 2 seasons. They're filming the 3rd and 4th right now, like back to back. And then he's freed up. That the show is ending with the 4th season.
When I read that the other day, that was the best thing I read that whole day.
Yeah, which means
Jack Ryan
that wasn't like orchestrated for him to then move over. It wasn't like, all right, well, I'm gonna stop doing this show so I can focus on Fantastic Four now.
Marvel,
because he signed that contract way before Fantastic Four was even an option. But it lines up now, so it makes timing. Right.
Let
and
him
also
direct
makes,
it too, bro.
Well, that's the thing. It
Bingo.
makes sense
We
that
want him
they
to please let him
Let him direct it,
It
bro.
makes
He's a
sense
comic book
that
head too.
Krasinski frees up after Jack Ryan is done filming, and then John Watts decides to bow out of Fantastic Four, so that, which is basically like giving Kevin Feige a solid, so that John Krasinski, they can land him to
Give him the
star and
rings.
direct Fantastic Four.
Let him do it.
Yeah.
And the rumor is, a lot of people have speculated John Campea, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I agree. It's very, very possible that to give up the Fantastic Four gig to land John Krasinski, we could see John Watts possibly directing Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie. So,
good call.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Because I think he'd be a dope director for that.
He'd be amazing. Quiet Place is one of the
Quiet Place 1 and 2
innovative original films in years.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful family dynamic
and he gave one of the best answers when asked, are we going to see A Quiet Place 3? And he said, in time. He said, right now I'm not rushing anything. I'm not rushing the story. The story is going to develop the way it should in time.
It's not about dollars.
Yeah, don't rush that.
It's about just letting it
telling a good
quality.
story.
Quality.
Here's one thing I did hear, and this is one thing that's been filtering around too. One Power Span. I'm sorry. I'm glad you brought this up. Bryce Dallas Howard. And they're talking about that she could actually also be one recommended for a role, but as a directing role, but also they were actually thrown in the barrel as her being Sue Richards, and I'm like,
what?
No, not.
I don't
know.
No.
I like his wife. I like Krasinski's wife. To be honest,
I want Emily Blunt to be.
I want Emily Blunt to be.
I want Emily Blunt for Stu. I want Krasinski to direct. I want Bryce Dallas Howard to
Zac Efron can be
they're not going to bring
Torch.
Bryce Dallas Howard over to direct after John Krasinski. No, it makes no sense. John Krasinski write and direct or direct and star in Fantastic Four. Bryce Dallas Howard is going to do
give
something
her Rogue Squadron. Give her
Rogue Squadron.
When you think
because
about
you don't want to look bad by firing Patty because she's a female, so you can't have those optics. So give it to another female.
Rogue Squadron,
now you're not sexist.
But also you remember you had the Game of Thrones showrunners that were going to do some Star Wars content that they are not anymore. There's plenty of stuff for Bryce Dallas Howard to take on in the Star Wars realm, even if John Watts does take on whatever Kevin Feige is working on. So I have no worry about that. I think she's going to be in Star Wars.
I really have this belief that Friday, next Friday, during Celebration, that we're going to get a reveal, or at least
I think there's going to be a lot.
We're going to get a reveal about Kevin Feige's film. I got a strange
100%.
feeling that 100%. We're going to.
Now, are we going to get any movies about Revan? Any Old Republic stuff?
Just wait.
We'll see.
I'm hoping to get a Revan film, bro.
I would say I think there's going to be at least 2 new films revealed, just because remember they didn't have Celebration last year. They want to make a splash with this one with Obi-Wan and then and new reveals. I think we're going to get at least 2 new film reveals at Celebration this year.
I hope we erase the last 3 movies.
I'm a little out of the loop on the Feige situation. He's the executive producer and
he's trying to get a movie. He's got a movie or something that he's
right now.
It was always said just one. It could be more, but they've always
got a movie,
referred to it as a Star Wars film.
All right, so
he's getting a writer. The writer of the Multiverse of Madness is writing. This
No.
Yeah.
It was Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
The writer of Moon Knight.
Is
supposed to be working with Kevin Feige, and he also did say it's a completely original story, completely original characters. It's not, it's
Skywalker
not
saga.
It's not Skywalker. It's not Mando. It's not Fett. It's not any of that. It's all new, all original.
Which
could be Knights. It could be the Old Republic. It's potential for it to be Old Republic.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be.
If
Revan.
he
It'll be
basically makes an announcement, I guarantee you, if he makes an announcement, well, if they make Old Republic, if they make that announcement, it is literally going to break the fucking internet, bro.
Yep.
I almost don't want that. In a weird way.
We'll have Bastila.
I need Revan, bro.
We'll have Bastila. We'll have
Revan. I don't want Revan or Old Republic.
We'll have what's the dude?
Feige, like he's got enough to worry about at Marvel.
So
but
he'll pass that story on.
Yeah, I think that's why I don't think he's going
starting
to
to fire
Old Republic because Old Republic and doing and Revenant, that's a trilogy. You can't just
that's a trilogy, no doubt.
Yeah. I think
who better to construct the trilogy but someone who has a vision. And he has a vision.
I agree, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, if he was to make that announcement,
MCU.
But here's the thing: is I don't think you got to understand that as much as he is a fan of the MCU, he's a huge Star Wars fan. He's a huge Star Trek fan. So basically, knowing that he actually does like to play in that barrel, here's the thing: we're talking about things that we don't want him to spread himself thin with. Who knows how far in advance he's already been planning this thing? You know what I mean? He's already been planning.
Don't get me wrong. Spreading yourself thin shit is the only reason for him not
that he is the way he is
Otherwise,
right now.
I would love to see it. You know what I mean? That's the only downside to me.
Of course,
Feige in the Star Wars universe.
We're going to get yellow lightsabers.
I need to. What better way to bring some type of order and some type of vision, shape, organization, and discipline than to bring somebody in who's constructed an entire 12-year map of something that was a cinematic success? Why not? So that's why I'm welcoming him in with open arms to produce however he's going to produce, not saying he's going to direct, he's going to produce, but at the same time, I think that his vision and his footprint in this realm is important because he sees it and he sees it for how he sees it, how he wants to direct and construct it and take it to a platform where it's acceptable and it's something that's done right. I'll welcome that man in with open arms because as so far right now, and on top of that, think about this though. Why not bring him in when he has somebody like Jon Favreau that's already been there and work with him?
Do the Russos want to direct a Star Wars film?
No, I
think it's Favreau.
Well, the Russos have also already said that they have ideas in mind for what they would return to the MCU for. Yeah. So I don't think they're looking at Star Wars. I think
Star Wars. No.
I think the Russo brothers will be back for the MCU.
We'll see.
They better come back and fix the Hulk's arm. That's what they better do.
Oh, I think.
Well, and it already fixed. She-Hulk's going to fix that. She-Hulk is already fixed.
We'll see.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. But I think She-Hulk is going to fix that. So we'll see. Anyway,
I hope so. Because that's probably my. That's a bigger grade for me than anything else they've done with Hulk.
She-Hulk was also hitting that Maestro, I think, too.
We don't know yet. We don't know yet. That they can't. Bro. No.
Maestro's too big for She-Hulk.
No,
Maestro's too big for She-Hulk.
But you can't do Maestro without. There's so many other elements that you need to pull Maestro off, and that would be the biggest unearned character introduction and arc in the history.
They have them on there,
that'd be like.
We're not going to see Maestro.
That'd be like Venom trying to do
Anakin's twin. It's actually been leaked that it comes in August.
August,
so it's been linked that August is when we're going to see it. So,
August.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 2022, and when you look at the slate for Disney Plus, there's a lot.
It's a lot in the front of that.
So we're not going to have more than like 3 weeks at a time stretch, like in between content, because there are too many that they've got to get on the slate.
And we still got Ant-Man and Wasp. Ant-Man and Wasp out there somewhere.
Just Disney Plus though. Just the Disney Plus content. You've got Obi-Wan, you've got Andor, you've got Ms. Marvel, you've got She-Hulk, you've got
you got Rogue Squadron too.
Well,
right?
No, but that alone right there, that's 4 shows.
What's crazy is 23 will have Star Wars and Marvel in full swing. And there will be overlaps in 23. No way. No.
And they got a Luke Skywalker show. They got Ahsoka show.
I don't think there's a Luke show.
No, they haven't said a Skywalker show.
Yeah.
But they got Luke. They got Ahsoka for sure. Ahsoka, is that done?
For sure. Yeah.
Ahsoka already started filming.
They started filming Ahsoka. Yeah.
They started that last week.
Ahsoka will be 23.
So are they still trying to get Sebastian to like lock down a contract for Luke for what?
That's fan cast.
That's just fan cast, and they haven't. That hasn't been. Yeah,
there's
that's just a fan
never
cast,
ever been any type of official.
And I'm pretty much off of
that
that right now, anyway.
If they did it, that's cool. But right now,
I feel like that would have happened if it was going to happen.
Like Mark Hamill's like twin. Like it's crazy how much they look alike. It's like
anyway, ridiculous. Real quick though, because we're gonna actually sign out of this real quick, man. Brendan, I'm gonna bring this up real quick so you can let the everybody know, because like I said, it's getting late.
Yeah,
I'm almost in here to 2 hours, so we're gonna kind of round this out. Thanks everybody actually being here. And let me just bring this in here real quick. I'm gonna copy this link in here. You can just let people know what's going on while I do so.
So Lael's just going to copy it into the chat, but this is a link to a DonorsChoose project that my wife is doing. She's a inner city 5th grade school teacher. It's basically kind of like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, but it's basically people can just donate a couple bucks. She's trying to get to I think she's got like $480 that she needs to get left. So, I mean, every little bit, even a couple bucks helps, but it's basically just to be able to purchase a ton of graphic novels for her classroom and for her students. All 4 of us basically came up and learned how to reading comic books and graphic novels, and just getting a book in a kid's hand, especially in the inner city. Kids aren't going to libraries. They're not like, going into a Borders or a Barnes and Noble and getting a bunch of books and stuff. So this is a good way to get some really great stories that like we were raised on in their hands and do something cool. So any little bit, if you can donate, is much appreciated. It's a good cause.
Definitely. So again, man, if you haven't already, please do support this. This is amazing, an amazing cause, especially for something that we've actually come up reading. And I mean, pretty much, all of us have been able to articulate mainly because of what we read through comics.
And getting the bullshit every week like this.
Exactly. And this is why we do it. So it's a great cause. Definitely support that. The link is in the chat right now. So copy that link, go straight there and do support because it's definitely for a good cause. Everybody, thank you for actually coming through tonight. It's been a great discussion. We started with the Illuminati. We ended with Star Wars. We ended with Kevin Feige. So that's how we do it. All over off the cuff. It doesn't matter. Vinny, what you got coming up, bro? In your neck of the woods, my man.
I'm just working on some commission pieces and just regular work, just grinding. Lots of busyness on my end of this side. Just lots of artwork that I hope I get time to get to. Lots of reading that I hope I get time to get to, but I'll get to it eventually. So I'm just looking forward to catching up on some reading and stuff while we get this little break from media. We don't really have too many shows or movies coming out for just a little bit, and then in June we got more stuff coming back on the way. But just catching up on stuff around the house, reading, and some gaming, but mostly just work, man. So tis the season. Just grind so that way, work hard so you can play hard, right?
That's how it is, bro. So if you haven't already, check out Vincent Dunn Art, as always, on Instagram. Put pretty much the link. Actually, the link to the page is actually in the description of this video. So I put everybody's link, even Jedi Pimp Smack. His link is actually in there as well. So definitely go up and follow as always. Jedi Pimp Smack. What you got coming up, bro? You're muted.
Told you I go pick up that 1/4 scale Friday. I cannot wait to get that Mando. That thing looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Golden Armor be here tomorrow. Yeah, I told you I sold some stuff to my boy's store. Yeah. And he got it for I didn't pay the difference.
Okay.
It's good to have friends that work at comic book stores, I swear. But
yeah.
I pay the difference, and I'll get that Friday, and Wonder Woman to be here tomorrow. And I forgot Batgirl. I got Batgirl should be here Thursday.
Yeah.
The Arkham one.
Yeah. How is that? Is that
it's good?
It's
posable.
It's good, dude.
It's really posable.
Do you have the bat pod?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, she actually looks good on the bat pod.
Oh, does it? Oh, it can fit on there pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Real good on
now,
that.
did you? Okay, I still got the DX12 Batman for the Bat Pod. Now, this one is DX19.
The DX19 is the one that just released the other week. Yeah.
Is it taller, and is it taller than the new one than the old one?
It's a little bit. The scaling is a little bit more accurate, so he's a little bit bigger than the. He's a little bit bigger than the DX12 and the Armory one because I have the Armory one. I haven't picked up the DX19.
Yeah, I got the Armory one too.
He's a little bit bigger than the Armory one.
Because putting him on a Bat Pod is like, I was like, oh my god, I want to freaking break the suit. It was like hard to put him on.
I think the DX19 is a little bit easier to put on the Bat Pod, but you can definitely get Batgirl on the Bat Pod. You can actually get the So Toys Batwoman on the
Bat Pod too.
Yeah.
Let's see. I might sell my DX12, man, and get the DX19. I don't know. I'm debating about it.
You gonna sell it?
I think that's a good move.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. It's like I'm on the fence with it because I love that Batman. But have you ever put him next to the Ben Affleck Batman? He was like a midget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
definitely is true, bro. But yeah, man, if you haven't already, follow the Jedi Kid, Jedi Pimp Smack on Instagram, as always, and let him smack the fire out that ass with some great content.
That's what I do.
So definitely you want to do that. Butt naked. What you got coming up?
Well, so we got Wednesday's new comic book day, so
yes,
that's always fun. Anybody who hasn't read the miniseries that they just did for Captain America and Iron Man, with all the cover art done by Alex Ross, that whole kind of trade paperback drops on Wednesday. So you can get that together if you haven't. That's a good story to check out. So I would highly recommend that. Other than that, I got some client shoots this week, and now that I finally went back and I finished what is a phenomenal game on the PS5 in Horizon Forbidden West. If you have a PS5, you haven't played that, definitely check it out. It's an awesome game. But I finished that, and so now kind of in Star Wars mode in anticipation of Obi-Wan, I'm running through the PS5 upgrade of Jedi Fallen Order. So I'm enjoying running through that again with the improvements. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I will have my 1/3 scale PCS Miles Morales that I picked up from Marcos at Collector's Own today. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
And I will, whenever that comes in, I will be doing, most likely, as long as I can work it out timing wise, we'll do a live unboxing on the Collecting Weekly channel with John and Zach and the rest of those guys.
Hell yeah. Great content as always, man. I got a couple videos I got to put up on the Naked Truth. So Naked Truth is going to be coming this week. So yeah, butt naked in the Naked Truth. It's going to be dropping probably either tomorrow or Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. I actually have it up set to premiere probably Wednesday morning.
And so I got another one to send you. I got one on the Ahsoka premium format from Sideshow. That
statue was dope.
I'm telling you, that is.
I saw that in person Saturday.
I say it in the video. I've said it countless times. That's Sideshow's wheelhouse. Forget trying to do actor likenesses. You can't do that. But do the comic and the animation inspired stuff. The color saturation, the pose, everything on that Ahsoka is absolutely breathtaking. Such a good piece. I highly recommend anybody who's interested, who's thinking about it. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's dope.
Definitely, man. So again, we appreciate you guys out there, everybody out in the chat for coming through. We love y'all, man. It's been a great show, great content. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, and remember, there is a giveaway that is still going on right now, not like yesterday, but right now, and that giveaway is basically for the quarter scale Mando Deluxe and Grogu set. It is the Force of May. Remember, the Force of May giveaway, 1/4 Mandalorian and Grogu Deluxe set, courtesy of my bro, Collector's Zone's own Marcos. So what you want to do basically is become a member of the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel and subscribe as well. Head on over there to Collector Zone on Facebook. It's the Collector Zone Cantina. Tell us why you basically like Star Wars, your favorite character, and why that character relates to you. And you can win. Again, the winner is going to be announced on the 30th of this month. The last day of Star Wars Celebration. I'll announce it live from Celebration, probably sitting over there at Disney. I'll probably do that. But you want to make the announcement there. I'll make the announcement there of who's the actual winner. So you want to get your name in right away. It's simple, and you can win this piece, and you don't have to pay the 600 and something that both me and Brendan is paid. So definitely make sure, because this piece in hand, I have to give it to him. Like, it's
right
dope.
here.
Like,
do not sleep on this guy.
It is.
I can't wait to get mine, bro.
It is so super dope. So make sure, again, you don't sleep on it. That piece is incredible.
That thing is so fire,
again,
bro.
all you have to do is subscribe, become a member of the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel. Head on over there to Collector Zone Cantina on Facebook. Tell Marcos I sent you. Say Lael Rockwell and Butt Naked sent you, and tell him why you love Star Wars, why that character is.
To get this for free,
you get it for free.
Zero. Like that's
crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy.
Vinny, I suggest that you basically head on over there to Collector Zone Cantina. Tell your boy why you like Star Wars, who's your favorite character, and Vinny, you could possibly figure this out, Vinny. If you
say the 1/4
all I have to
do is
if you did that, I would just walk it down to your street and say, "Yo, here," if you won. So that's
but see, everybody would think that it was unethical. Everybody would be like, "Nah, you set that up."
He's not going. I'm just saying, it's anybody's ball game. He's not going to win. I'm just letting y'all know. Who knows? He could. But I'm just saying, listen, that's how important it is to let you know that you get this big ass box for free so I can send it out and get rid of it, because it has been sitting in this room for the longest time. I already have my quarter scale Mando over there sitting up nicely. So, man, like, straight up, I want to get rid of this box. I don't want it. I know y'all guys want it. So if you want it for free, all you have to do is become a member of the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel or subscribe. Head on over to Collector's Own Cantina. Tell them your boy sent you. And you can get you a free Mando.
I'm going to be a member. I'm going to try to win it. I'm going to become a member. I'm going to try to win it.
I'm going to try to win it too. I'm going to say my name is Vincent Vaughn.
I'm going
to say my name is Vincent Vaughn.
Yeah. Vincent Vaughn.
Yeah, I'm undercover.
You got to draw one of them curly black mustaches.
Yeah. Have the
little evil glasses.
He's not Latin. He's pig Latin.
Yeah, I'm going to have the whole...
Yo, but seriously,
it's
worth it to jump into the Collector's Own Cantina Facebook group. I mean, obviously for the giveaway, but just anyway, because Marcos constantly drops codes.
What group is this?
So you get so he's got a thing with Ryan from Jetta Patrol. You use the code Patrol and you'll get like 12% off like everything. But all the time in that Facebook group, better than that code or any others, he constantly drops 17, 18% off codes. That it's like, if you're in, they're only dropped in the cantina, and it's like 3 people can use this code. And once it's gone, it's gone. But like, if you're one of those people that sees it drop, boom, 18% off like that really expensive statue or something that you're in the Facebook page. That's the Facebook, the Collector's Own Cantina, the one that you have to
You'll
join
see this
anyway
logo
to be in this. Okay.
You'll see that logo, and all you have to do. How many times I got to say this? I'm saying like now I got to say like I sound like I'm Dave Chappelle.
Pastor.
All you got to do, yeah, just head on over there, man. Just tell Marcos that I sent you.
Yep. Quarter scale man sent you.
And just let him know, you know why you like Star Wars, your favorite character, and why that character basically relates to you, and you yourself could basically win a quarter scale deluxe Mandalorian with Grogu deluxe set.
I'm gonna say my favorite character is Rose. He'll have to give it to me out of sympathy.
You funny as hell, boy.
Yo. Anyway, Thanks everybody for coming. Renstown Latino. We got Bob Dylan out there. Cam's collection. My cousin Cam is actually in the building. Thank you for basically being here. Mark Hansen. Let's see who we got. Cuervo. I'm seeing a couple of names here, man, just to kind of show some love. Anakin's twin, Eric Gant Tyler's in the building. Good for Health is actually out there, man. Let me see who else we got. One Pouch Man coming through as always. Luminar. Thank you for basically being here, Lumi. And again, right there, Gruza. We have Two Ferns. Get well, my guy. Charlie the Unicorn is out there. Raleigh Reviews is out there. My man Bob Dylan is in the building. Thank you for basically being here as always, man. So yes, man, everybody out there. Ashley Chase, first Lukage 92, man. Thank you for being here. So many different individuals out there. My baby Latoya T, thank you for always supporting and being out there. And actually, she okay, so this is coming this week because she basically shot the video at my comic shop across the river. She shot the video with me there. She actually narrated herself. She got live footage. She shot the world famous Silver Surfer statue that I'm trying to get from the month, but they ain't gonna never give it to me. But yes, that video,
It's a giant fucking like one.
It's a giant, like
1-1 scale.
Statue, bro. Yeah. It is incredible. On the
my
board.
shop has that. My shop has that,
bro. It is incredible, and I want that
like a life
so bad. I've always wanted it. I wanted it ever since they were over there at the Capital City Mall at the Park City. It was the Camp Hill Mall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Way
when you
back
can
in
go
the day.
into Camp Hill Mall. You can't even go into Camp Hill Mall.
Make sure you get the name of the mall right, because everybody in the chat wants to know the exact name of the mall where you motherfuckers live. That's valuable information for them. You're like you spend 5 minutes and which mall was it? Was it this one? Was that
Camp Hill Mall. But no, the shop is actually it's in Mechanicsburg. It's on the Carlisle Pike. If you go over there, basically you can check them out. It's the damn, I keep forgetting the name of the damn, because I'm kind of fuzzed, right? Comics Connections, yeah. So you can actually go over there and get your fix. My guys over there hook you up. That's why I spent $200 and blamed. You'll see it. Basically, I spent $200 and blamed this guy because it was the same day. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming through. It's been such a good night. Until next week, until we come up with a different content. As always, we love y'all. Stay real, collect them comics, stay geek, and always expect us to do what we do. When we are out, talk to y'all later. Peace.